Hi and welcome everyone, this is the Hobo Prepper and I am Friar Tuck. Yeah, you can see they did a controlled burn here. Look at all that. It's coming back, of course, but anyway, so today I'm going to be talking about living on trail. There are various ways to live on trail, but why would somebody want to come and live on trail? And it's really not hard to figure out. I mean, for me, I lost everything. I am done trying to continuously rebuild something that is going to be destroyed, because when you're the way the system is working right now is it is imploding from the bottom up, not from the top down. Well, now it's starting to do from the top down, but originally over the last few years with the pandemic, it started from the bottom up. All the low-hanging fruit, all the businesses that were vulnerable, all the businesses that were poorly managed, those were the businesses that suffered, and that's why we lost a lot of small businesses. And then the corporations, the big corporations, come in there and they take that over. But yet again, we're having a labor crunch. And then you have these banks, because of the federal government. They want to do a switch over to a digital currency. I mean, we've had the paper dollar for about 100 years plus, and it's about time to switch that over. And so it's going to cause havoc and destruction. And so now, instead of the low-hanging fruit and the vulnerable ones that are taking the biggest slash, it is the big boys, the bigger businesses, the ones that you never really thought were going to fail. And look, now they're starting to fail. And it's, all these things, it's going to cause a lot of people to just sit there and throw their hands up, because they're tired of losing. They're tired of losing their stuff. They're tired of putting all this time, effort, and energy into the world, and to have nothing to show for it. Either that, or they get out on trail and they realize, like, wow, I lost a lot of weight, or I mean, there's various reasons for it. I mean, including criminal, if you really want to get down to the honest answer of it. But what does it mean to live out on trail? Because I mean, you could do it on bike, you could do it in a car, you could do it hiking like I'm doing. I've tried it I've tried it in a car. You can find work, but the problem with finding work is that all the money that you make is going to go into gas and maintenance and insurance for your vehicle, which means that if you don't have some sort of secondary income, it makes it really, really hard to be able to do something like that. So that was something that I tried for a couple of months, and just I saw the writing on the wall, and this was before my business kind of fell apart. And so I scrapped that, and I went and stayed with my old man. And then you guys saw I tried it on a bike, and a bike is great, but you need years of conditioning to be able to handle the stamina and the necessary wear and tear on your body that a bike does. Because I mean, you're using different types of muscles, you're pushing yourself farther and faster. It's not something that you can get on and practice for a couple of months and then just, be on the go. Not unless you really are just kind of mosey along. And that's not what I did. I'm like, I'm going to do a trail. I'm going to do it the right way, and it did not work out for me. Now, walking or doing hiking, I've always walked. I love walking. Walking is something that really works for me. And I've always walked a minimum of 10 miles a day for most of my adult life, whether it be because I was homeless, or whether it be because I worked, or whether it be just because I have so much energy from anxiety that I naturally just do that much distance every day. But the thing is you get out on trail and you try and do the same thing that I did on bike, which is, I want to be like everybody else. I want to do 20 miles a day. I want to do this. I want to do that. And you realize, like, these people have homes to go back to. They're coming to do a trail and do it in a reasonable amount of time, so that they can have time to rest, one, while they're on trail, and two, make it back to their job and make it back to their life on time. Because doing these trails, the Pinhoti is supposed to take 30 days. A lot of people get it done in like 20-25 days, so it is what it is. But they're doing 15-20 miles a day. The trails are designed for a certain amount of time, and people got to go back. But when you live out on trail, the way that you do distance, the way that you travel, the way that you do things, it's changed compared to the people that are doing it because they have a place to go back to. So, for instance, this morning, hold on, let's step back. So I spent 2 days in Heflin, and Heflin was kind of a vortex for me. It was, I almost didn't want to leave. I thought about putting in an application at Jack's and just seeing if I could get a job there, and because I mean, Heflin's a really, really nice town. I really enjoyed the town. So it was a vortex for me because it made life easy on me. I mean, I was close to resources. I had a place to camp and nobody was trying to run me off. Things like that the homeless, they have to deal with on a regular basis, which is constantly being ran off by police and all these other things. And so it makes it nice. Or being out on trail, like I walked total of 10 miles yesterday. I went down to the Lower Shoal Creek shelter, which was the first shelter I came across. And it was being right next there to it's kind of like a mini waterfall, more like rapids, but just the sound of it was calming and relaxing. And I mean, I got some of the best sleep I had, and I was thinking, you know what? I could just walk back into Heflin real quick and grab me like 4 or 5 days more worth of food and just sit here and just enjoy myself. And this is the difference of living on trail versus doing a trail to be able to complete it and then go back to your life as an office junkie. Okay, so living on trail is much different. You don't have to move as quickly, as much, as often. Your big things that are gonna cause you to have to do distance is time for resupply. So, one of the things that I know I want to do, and I'm probably going to have to wait till I get onto the AT because I've made some commitments to people. Another thing is I have nowhere to be. So I could, if I really wanted to, I could have sat there. I could have gone back into Heflin and they would have thought nothing of it. I'd have just said, well, I guess I didn't resupply as good as I wanted to. I got really hungry and I ate everything. And they would have been none the wiser. And I could have gone in there and got some food and then come back and stayed here for a couple of days. But I've made commitments to meet up with people on the AT, and so therefore I've got a place to be. And so now I can just kind of mosey along and walk. I mean, I don't have to make it by a certain day. It's not like I said, I'll be there by Juneteenth, I'm saying that I will be there when I get there, and I'm moseying along. I'm not taking any long-term breaks or anything else like that. But once I've fulfilled those obligations and I don't have to, I don't have people that I'm scheduled to meet. I mean, I could stay in a place for a week and just like go into just as long as I'm close to a town. Or even better yet, that's the day where, like, because I've got these D-rings here where I have a couple of bags hanging off my D-rings, and I make sure that I have full fuel and I'm next to a water source, and I go and I grab me all the really nice, good food I want, and I can sit back and just eat and enjoy myself and just kind of like sit back and relax. And then get back on trail and keep on walking. Maybe, maybe I decide after doing some research of, there's a really pretty place over here. I want to go see this and I want to go see that. Now, this is what my plans are for next year. People keep asking me, well, what are you going to do after the AT? Well, after the AT, I'm hoping that, because I want to be in the north for the summer and in the south for the winter, and I'm having to kind of flip-flop around and kind of get my trail legs going and kind of get my logistics going and kind of understand what it is I'm doing, test out my gear, make sure that it works for me year round, do all those different things. but by this time next year, that's exactly what I'll be doing, because I talked with Prophet, and he's like, I drank more beers than miles hiked this year, which that's a good thing in some ways, because he's finally settling down a little bit to where, you know, he can just sit there and do his thing. Now, when I get to that point, though, I want to be in the West. I want to be in BLM land. I want to kind of be deep into the forest, and I want to be able to do my own hunting, and to be able to maybe even, you know, grab some seeds and do my own gardening, and go to places where man really doesn't go very often, or is less likely to go. And just kind of have my own little, not necessarily homestead, but to kind of have my own little routine of, okay, I'm gonna hit here, I'll stay here for a week, and do some hunting, and, you know, clean it, and then once the meat's gone, then I'll go up to another place, and, you know, and just keep doing it that way until, you know, either until I die or until something happens. You know, I don't know what's in store for me, but this is kind of the long-term goals that I've had since I've been on trail. When I left, even on bike, I said I wanted to do something like this. And, you know, this is the advantage of living on trail, is that you get your exposure to nature, you get your training, so that when you reach that point when you're ready to completely and fully withdraw from society, you have that ability. And I think that that's really what this experience is for me, and what eventually will end up happening. Now, I will continue doing YouTube, so I'll have to figure things out as far as, like, you know, how to come in and upload videos, and you know, get content out, maybe come in once a month and upload a crap ton of videos to an editor that I've got doing editing for me, and then just go back in and enjoy myself. You know, I don't know. This is still, in a lot of ways, it's spitballing. It's a goal or a direction in which I'm heading. And this is kind of the benefits of living on trail. It's just that you get the opportunity to really sit back and, you know, take your time. You're no longer, this is a way to be in the world, but not be of the world. This is a way to really kind of push yourself to really withdraw and return to your roots, to what it was that your ancestors used to do, and to be able to live life without being in the constant rat race that is destroying you. And I think that as more and more people are getting ran into the ground, you're going to start seeing more and more people out here on these different trails, and they're going to be lifers. I mean, I've already met a couple of them. And, you know, even some of these YouTubers, they're out here, but, you know, they're just doing it the same way that I'm doing it, but they're doing it for more of the hiking experience versus doing it for the prepper and the survivability experience. But it all leads down to the same road at the end of the day. So, hey, you guys know how to help the channel. Like, subscribe, share, and I will like, subscribe, share, become a member of Patreon, leave me a tip in the tip jar, affiliate links down in the bottom. Thank you for being my subscribers. Enjoy the extra footage, and I will see you in the next video. All right, I'm back on trail and back on the Pinhoti. I gotta say, taking 2 days off in a row. Oh, look at that, a nice little stream. Taking 2 days in a row is a little rough. Getting back out, and, you know, vortexes, man, I heard about them. People keep telling me about them, and to be careful. Oh, look at that, more. But I don't know, this Heflin was one of those cities where I liked it so much I was almost willing to apply for a job at Jack's, just because I like the city. But, wow. Anyways, stay tuned. It's always nice to look at the mountain range, to kind of see how high you are, and how many other mountain peaks you can see. It's also kind of nice, it's pretty. It's 86 degrees today. It's supposed to rain here in the next hour or two. But that looks really good to go take a swim in, don't it? I'm gonna be sleeping next to this tonight at the Lower Shoal Creek Shelter. Didn't even realize how close I was to it. I mean, I walk around the corner and there's the shelter. Looks like there's either some work being done on it or something's been damaged. Huh. Gonna have to look into this.